Russia, a European capitalist empire led by a czar. A czar is just basically a king, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm a bit stuffy. So, around 1848, the Communist Manifesto was written by a guy named Karl Marx and a guy named Friedrich Engels, which is these two, Karl, Friedrich. They said that the rich were going to get richer and the poor were going to get poorer off of one person. The rich, yeah, okay. And they said that that would lead to a revolution and ultimately communism. Cue the music. Let's talk about capitalism and communism. Yay! So, in capitalism, you just go up to a lemonade stand and say, I want some lemonade. And the store owner and the lemonade stand owner is like, sure, 25 cents. You hand them the 25 cents, then it's your lemonade. Yay. But in communism, you go over to the store, I want some lemonade. He hands you the lemonade, now go work my fields. You know what, sir? I heard your thing, and I would rather, how about this? I'm a barber, and I'll give you a free haircut. Deal? And so you make the deal. Yay. Oh, and also there's this part where all the government has to give like all their money, an equal amount to the people. But the problem is when everybody gets the money, when the government has no money, they have no money to give to the people, which means death. Now, there were these people called serfs. Now, they were essentially slaves, just to work in the fields, but they were freed, and they went to the Russian cities, which means nobody had any food because the serfs weren't making food. There was this party called the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party that it really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? And they were banned. They met in a bunch of other cities. That was nice. There's two main parties in this party, the Bolsheviks and the Mensheviks, led by Lenin and McCartney. Not that Lenin, McCartney. Oh, I like that joke. The Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, thought that communism needed to be run by one person. Why McCartney? I couldn't find a picture of him, so I just drew a mustache on Paul McCartney, because all good communist leaders have mustaches. So McCartney over here thought that it should be a group effort. Go team, am I right? But Lenin ended up splitting from the the Bolsheviks, and just left. He left, and he went over here somewhere. I'm not sure where, writing socialist books and meeting with socialist people. Now back in Russia, people didn't like Tsar Nicholas because they said he was too much of a control freak, and he wasn't leading Russia into an industrialized society. Lenin actually came back to the Bolsheviks to help a revolution. Then a revolution actually happened, and a bunch of people died. And this is supposed to be a gun, by the way. And it was a massacre, basically. It became known as Bloody Sunday. It happened in 1905. Also in 1905, some people called Soviets, cue the music, So meanwhile, the Soviets were handing out pamphlets and just telling people to help the revolution. A couple more revolutions later, and the Russia became a constitutional monarchy, which means there's a parliament. It's just like Britain. They're a constitutional monarchy. But Tsar Nicholas, he tried to limit all the parliament's power and basically kept it all for himself. He claims there is a constitution now, but he was kind of joking. Russian people were like, oh, I can't believe you done that. But with a higher population now, more people were in cities. And more people wanted freedom of speech and wanted to make a difference. The farmers wanted to own the land they were working on. And the cities were just, there's a bunch of raw sewage floating around with literal poop in it. I can understand why they were pretty mad. But Lenin came back, yay. And he was going to help the revolution by robbing trains and banks. One of the generals of these robberies was a young Joseph Stalin. But Mr. Nicholas II over here, he hired some police officers to steal and kidnap a bunch of Soviets. Lenin ended up leaving because he didn't want to be kidnapped and then executed. He left to Switzerland. Meanwhile, this thing called World War I was starting. If you want to know more about that, just watch my World War I video, or don't, or do. So the gist of it is that Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, then Russia declared war on Austria-Hungary, then Germany declared war on Russia. That was the beginning. Okay. Many people didn't want to join the war, which left many people sad because they had to be in the war. Also, there was no money, which led to economic collapse, and the farmers weren't getting paid, so they began to make crops only for them, selfish people, which led to more economic collapse and food collapse, which is bad. Also, Tsar Nicholas went up to the front lines himself to make everyone happy. It didn't work well, but he put his wife in charge, and she didn't do that well because some weird homeless guy was just controlling her. I call him Grigory Putin, or Grigory Rasputin, whatever you want to call him. The troops weren't getting everything they needed. The economy was going down, which was bad. Many homeless people that didn't even want to be part of this war were actually got to be generals because so many people are dying. People were mad, and they thought that government equals bad. What made it worse that German troops were just completely destroying them. These are a bunch of bullets just flying. People were not having this. And that was bad. Soon, Russia is about to explode into revolution. Doo-doo.